Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Fresh and our Orc Hunter. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today we've got another grinding episode for some gold, but this time we're heading into the Swamp of Sorrows. We're going to have a couple of options within the swamp once we can skirt our way past Darkshire. And hopefully that should help us stay a bit more consistent than what we experienced with the turtles in Dust Wallow. We're going to have some whelplings to the southwest. Basically right when we enter the zone we can hook a right. And then we'll have some tigers and spiders sprinkled in throughout the western half of the zone as well. Tough part, of course, is just getting there for the first time. So we're heading through the hills. Should be back on the main path heading into Deadwind Pass. There we go. Then we can pick up the flight path in Stonard as well. And if this farm doesn't happen to work out, we can take a flight path from Stonard and head back to Gromgol in Stranglethorn. And we can give that a shot. We've got gorillas in a couple of different spots in the northern section of that zone. And we have decided to hop on in the middle of the day as well. Hopefully outside of primetime hours, we'll have some sort of impact today. Right, we're passing through Dead Man's Crossing now. We did end up hitting 78 gold total, so we did pick up quite a bit from those turtle scales. I think we got pretty lucky though, so hopefully we fare better in the Eastern Kingdoms. Nice change of scenery before we enter another swamp. Never really spent too much time within the Swamp of Sorrows. It's been a long time since I've run Sunken Temple in its vanilla version, at least in its entirety. But I think that is something we'll probably get to at some point during the playthrough. And we are just about to enter the zone for the first time. Let's open the map real quick. I think we're going to have to head down this hill first before we wrap around to this section down here. This is where we can find some of those whelplings. Maybe we can find a way down the hill. Might make it a little bit easier. See if we can find anything. I do see other players. Maybe we'll do a quick /who here. 29 people around our level, so we can probably expect to see some sort of competition. Yep, I see some of the whelps here. At least we can skin them. Hopefully we can get something out of that too. But the big thing that we're going to want from these whelps are the small flame sacks. Those are the things that are going to be worth something. Yeah, we've definitely got a decent amount of people here farming this area. So, like I said, we do have other locations that we can go check out. Really, anywhere kind of in the middle of this western side of the zone here is going to have tigers and spiders and whatnot. Other stuff to kill that have pretty decent loot tables, to my understanding. And we did remember to equip those dog training gloves as well, so we can get that boosted attack power when fighting all these beasts. See, we've got a spider over here already. Let's get started with this. I think the levels should be around the same from what we were experiencing with the turtles. I would expect around between like 37 and 40, probably. just start killing some stuff and we'll try to figure out what's worth it and what's not. This will be good for future reference as well. So we've come to the fork in the road, and I think we're just going to go right down the middle. I never hear these crocolisks being brought up as worthy kills, so I'm not sure if we should be killing them or not, but we might not have much of a choice. There's probably a bunch of them in the area. Just picked up some mystery meat. Not going to be worth too much, and neither is the crocolisk meat either. We've got some corpses here. I am seeing a hell of a lot of spiders. I do see a swamp jaguar over there, so that is a good start. Actually only level 36 as well. Oh, we've got a PvP person here too. Interesting. I wonder if he's like a quest giver of some kind for the Alliance. Something else I'm thinking about as well are the spawn locations for these spiders and jaguars. I wonder if they share locations, which would make a lot of sense to kill the spiders, I suppose, if not simply just to respawn more jaguars. Don't know if that's the case yet. Hopefully we'll find out as the episode progresses. That white spider meat is used for the spider sausage recipe. So that might be something that we could hold on to, or it might be something that's actually, worth quite a bit. If it is in fact worth 20 silver each on the auction house, that would be fantastic if we can continue to collect those. That is certainly not the price that we bought it for when we were making our. We made a couple of spider sausages before, and the meat was pretty cheap. Very similar to the turtle meat. Let's go ahead and get our food buff up and our mana back. So we'll kill some stuff in the middle here too. We'll head back across the road. And once we start running out of some stuff, we'll head over to Stoner just to pick up the flight path. Maybe check out a few vendors. And see if the location offers anything interesting. Pretty lucky with the spider meat so far, which is great. do have some silk, but it's not really that much. I think we're going to need to restock on that soon. We've been trying to sell it just to make a quick buck, but finding that we're going to be using our bandages a little bit more often, I think, specifically for our pet. Haven't been picking up a lot as far as the vendor gold stuff that we're looking for. We did pick up one bristly whisker, and this is kind of what we hope to drop, at least from like every other jaguar would be the hope, since it's worth about 7 silver each. That's definitely something that can add up quite a lot when you're killing dozens and dozens of things. So far, I think we're getting pretty good kill rate here, pretty good amount of enemies spawned in. It seems like a lot of players aren't really interested in taking out the spiders. But the jaguars really kind of blend into the environment quite well. They're honestly pretty hard to see until you kind of target them for the first time. Up some thick spider silk as well. Doesn't look like it auctions for too much. Still vendors for quite a lot, I suppose. I feel like the spider silk is probably not as useful around this level range. I think thick spider silk can be found at lower levels, usually used to craft lower level blue pieces. We're getting a bit of rain today in the swamp. Let's go ahead and adjust the ambiance a bit so it's not too loud. Yeah, I originally came here mostly for the jaguars and the whelplings, because we can actually skin those, but so far at the moment, the spiders seem to be the ones providing the most value at the moment. Starting to stray a little bit too far from the middle. Let's reel it back in a little bit. Wonder if we should start working on Swamp of Sorrows soon, from a general questing standpoint, or Dustwallow for that matter. Like at level 40, we'd be at the perfect starting point for either of those zones. Trying to think of what else we have. I know we have to go back to Stranglethorn for a bit, specifically to deal with Messingwary's quest. The next level of it, at least. Dustwallow, we've got Swamp. We could start on the 40 to 50 zones, I suppose, like Tanaris and Hinterlands. Might be something. We still need to go back to Alterac, I think. I don't know how much is left in Arathi. There might be a couple of things left in the Highlands that we can explore. And of course, between all of that, we need to fit in a Razorfen Downs run. Haven't taken a look at the quests yet. I know that the loot table in general is not super great for us, but continuing the trend with all of the dungeons for the first 40 levels, it feels like anything outside of Wailing Caverns isn't super lucrative for leather wearers. Then again, we're going to be starting to look at mail pieces now, once we hit 40. I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time, though, to collect stuff that has agility on it. I feel like around level 40 is still when mail... You've got that, like, awkward transition between, you know, the new armor types in general, whether you're a class that goes from leather to mail or a class that goes from mail to plate. There's kind of like a little bit of a pain period where there aren't too many available pieces that are going to have the correct stats on them. Like, I feel like in our case, a lot of the mail gear between like 40 and 45 is still probably going to have like strength on it, which is obviously not super helpful. But by the time we get to, you know, around 44, 45, I think is when we'll start to see pieces of gear drop that we need. But we definitely need to start looking for upgrades one way or another. If we're not going to get them from dungeons, we're going to have to find some quests that'll help us out. And we may have to use the auction house once we do get our mount. Start putting a little bit of investment in some of this stuff that is really old at this point. Yeah, this cloak is level 17. These bracers are 27. We're still using the crescent staff, of course. You know, and most of our jewelry, besides our necklace, can get upgraded as well. We'll see. I've got a couple of players in the area that I've seen so far. I think I'm going to start heading south again, because I know for a fact that we saw a decent amount of spiders and jaguars south of the fork of the road. We'll probably check... I guess we'll pick up the flight path at Stonard next, once we check out this little section here. And then once we have that, we'll slowly make our way back to where those whelplings are, to see if we can sneak a few kills there and get lucky with some of those flame sacks. Alright, let's head into Stonard for the first time. Got some like barracks right outside the area. Just want to kind of explore these for a quick second, just in case there is something hidden within. I don't think I've actually gone inside either of these before. But doesn't look like they serve a purpose. Right, let's grab that flight path. Perfect. Looks like this is the inn/tavern. Pretty bare bones, I would say. We've got a warrior trainer here. Interesting. And we've got alchemy supplies on the second floor.
What are you looking for?
Nothing that we could use. Let's see, we did sell some of the stuff that we collected already automatically for about 90 silver.
Go forth to victory.
Suppose that's going to get us somewhere. And what do we got over here? Got some blacksmithing supplies and a weapon merchant.
Strength and honor. Victory.
Nothing special though. Mail and plate merchant.
What do you need?
You don't carry any greens either, just basic white gear. And a cloth and leather merchant as well. Looks like the same thing. He does have a couple of... He's got one green piece. Not going to be super helpful for us though. Some more barracks. This is a... didn't realize how heavily fortified Stonard was. There's really a lot to it.
Magra.
Basic food and drink vendor. Inside the bigger building now, we see we've got a warlock trainer, we've got a master alchemist. It's good to know for the future, I suppose. And just some quests we can pick up upstairs at a later date. The Dark Portal and the Fall of Stormwind. It's a nice little book. Alright, I don't think there's anything else that's particularly special about this, so I think we'll head right back out. Let's get our buff food back up, and we'll start heading west again. Spiders. Collected 5 spider meat so far. So far that's, you know, again, kind of making up the bulk of our gold, I feel like, from this. This other stuff isn't going to sell for quite as much. If it weren't for the turtle scales that we picked up in Dustwallow, that trip would have been, like, very bad, I feel like. The turtle scales ended up selling for about like at least 10 gold, I think. So without those, that spot wouldn't have been as great. And I feel like with this section so far, since we're not getting too many drops off of the jaguars, we're going to have to rely on that white spider meat. Or get lucky with some flame sacks. Ripper just leveled up. Our beast training is still unfortunately stuck at 15 training points. And I'm definitely starting to regret spending those training points on all of those resistances that we've been picking up. I just didn't expect the next level of stamina and armor to cost so much. So I'm not sure when we're going to be able to grab those. Probably going to be quite a bit before we can. I feel like when you pull up the map for Swamp of Sorrows, it seems like such a big zone, but when you zoom out, you really see that it's actually very, very small. You know, I feel like as we're killing stuff in the middle here in between these two crossroads, it feels like this is a lot of space, but it really isn't. It's a really tiny amount of space, and we kind of been trekking from side to side very quickly. saw a green whelp alive for a second. He was quickly picked up by another player. I have a feeling that we're not going to see too many of those based on this. But let's go check it out anyway. Looks like some of them might be leaving some skins for us, at the very least. I don't know if the scales that we could potentially get are worth anything. Let's see, green whelp scale. It looks like it could be worth something. I'm sure it's actually used for leatherworking. Not sure if it's something we would consider keeping or not, though. Yeah, it looks like everybody has kind of the same idea here. Everybody's looking to farm these flame sacks. Just nothing going around. I don't see anything like hyper spawning in either. It seems like it's been pretty slow over here. It's just really hard to make raw gold. I feel like it's been a few months so far that these fresh realms have been up. But it seems like everything is just packed still. I'm not sure what else you would do for money. You know, maybe mining and herbalism is a little bit more profitable. But, you know, I've always kind of considered these, you know, raw gold farming spots to be the thing that you, kind of like your last resort, the thing that you look towards when there are no other options, when the economy isn't doing as well, when you know, there's too much competition for some other gold farm that you've been working on. This is kind of what you would go to, but in this case it really feels like everything is taken, even with the layer system. The other potential option is the Badlands to the north. There are some jaguars up there as well that act pretty similarly to these ones as far as their loot tables and whatnot. But I just don't know. I don't know if that area is going to be packed as well. It kind of feels like no matter where we go, we're going to have a tough time. And yeah, if that's the case, you know, we might just go back to our regular questing. We might actually just, simply put, we might actually just make a lot more gold that way. Which is weird to think about or consider, but it very well might be the case. So far, this little corner in the south here has been the best. Lots of spiders, a few jaguars here and there. And so far, they've seemed to be up always when we come to this location. An undead rogue in here, looking like he's doing basically the same thing that we are. Down and recharge a little bit. Yeah, I still can't tell how well we're doing. I feel like the Auctionator prices that are shown here are always constantly in flux. So I'm not really sure what to believe here. I feel like I'm just going to try to hold on to everything that is tradable. And then we'll run the scan when we get there. And hopefully some of this stuff is still worth just as much as it says it is. Especially the spider meat, because right now that's the thing that's carrying us at the moment. Got about 12 of those, and so far that's going to be worth about 2.5 gold. Which still feels really bad. I guess, especially since the turtle scales were worth so much more. Having some decent luck in the north as well, it seems. Just north of the northern road. Wasn't expecting to see as much here, but it seems like the northern part here and then this little southern pocket just beneath the road that leads to Stonard seem to be the best option so far. Well, let's try that southern pocket again. Saw a couple of players come through this middle section already. Not going to expect to see too much. I think the other thing that really helped us too with the turtles is we picked up a lot of greens, a lot of really good greens, like weapons. Even if the weapons didn't sell in the auction house, they still vendored for quite a lot. I think one of them vendored for like close to a gold, another one was like 60 silver. So that's a lot of good That's a lot of good stuff. We have not picked up a single green so far this episode. So I think that's definitely hurting us a lot. And just like usual, this little pocket definitely providing us with some value here. Making pretty good progress on our experience bar as well. I think definitely better than the turtles there. And once we hit level 40, we're going to be waiting on our abilities for a little bit. I think that's okay. What we won't wait on, if we can, are new arrows. We're supposed to be getting new arrows at level 40 as well. We've been using these razor arrows since level 25. So I think we're in for a pretty significant increase in damage once we hit 40. Not to mention we're going to be picking up our capstone talent in Bestial Wrath, which is going to be an awesome 2-minute cooldown. Not a lot of classes in vanilla really get an offensive cooldown, let alone one that's on a 2-minute timer. And Hunter gets a couple. We've got rapid fire obviously on a 5-minute cooldown, but having that second cooldown there on 2 minutes is going to be pretty. It's going to feel pretty awesome. Let's get Ripper's happiness back up, and I think that's it for this little pocket here. We'll go check on the whelps again real quick. I know it's typically a long shot, but never know when the area will just randomly clear out. Oh my god, we had one spawn right in front of us and we still couldn't tag it before somebody else. That is crazy. Super, super crazy. Yeah, I don't think we have any hope, honestly, at this point, of picking up even a single whelp. But we can skin them. Let's hope these green whelp scales are actually worth something. Look at that, we actually tagged one. They go down very quickly. No flame sack on that one. That's really their entire worth, too. So, I mean, if you can't consistently kill them at a steady pace, you are not going to get anything super useful from these. Especially if you have to wait this long for them. I think that's enough of that. Let's check our little pocket again. See if anything respawned. No, I don't think so. Too soon. A lot of the bodies are still there. It looks like we got a couple actually. Crossing the main path again, back into the middle of the zone. Let's get this stuff turned in at Stonard. And let's see what we're working with here. I feel like wasn't a super productive grind, unfortunately. felt like not getting a single green is probably pretty unlucky. Not saying that we didn't have a little bit of luck on our side the previous episode with the amount of greens we had gotten from the turtles, but not picking up a single green after an hours worth of grinding pretty consistently as well. I feel like it's a little bit unlucky. Let's get back into town. We'll vendor what we have and we'll kind of see where we're at. But my hopes are not high. And I think based off of this trip alone, I think what we're going to do is probably do some general questing in the next episode. I don't know where yet. I feel like we've got quite a few options. I never checked this guy, Arcane's Good Vendor. Yeah, he doesn't have anything special though either. Alright, so yeah, so we made like a couple of vendor gold. It's not really not worth it, honestly. But hopefully all this other stuff sells for something. It's not going to be too special though, I don't think.
Are the horde.
Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for me for today. In the next episode, we're going to go back to some general questing. We're going to hit level 40 for sure, and then we'll have to, you know, do some typical level 40 things once we can put together that 100 gold and buy that mount. I will spend some gold on the new arrows, because that will make us significantly more efficient, I think. It'll be nice to have some new arrows after 15 levels. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the Swamp of Sorrows. We had a bit of rain today, and a bit of undead ambiance before we had reached the new zone. As always, I really appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.